request a box at any point. And we'll go ahead and get started. And actually, it's the top of the hour, so I'm going to go ahead and get this party started. So welcome to Middle Ground. My name is Kat's Roar. You can call me Kat. I'm happy to have everybody here tonight. Tonight's topic that we'll be discussing is, can men and women truly be friends? Certainly not a newly debated topic, but new for our show. So I'm excited to have that conversation tonight. Before we jump in, I just want to go over a couple of rules for the show. Specifically for my guests that are in the box tonight, please make sure no smoking, no drinking, no driving, and no foul, or abusive language. And then, of course, for our guests that are here in the chat tonight, no foul or abusive language as well. I'd like to thank my admins, Emoji J and Beard Raider. And if you'd like to be a guest on Middle Ground, all you need to do is send a message on Instagram to myself, to Beard Raider, or Emoji J. We'd be happy to have you. At this point, I'm still booking for August. We have one spot left for August 31st. So that's the last Monday of the month. And that debate topic is, I believe, which is the best music genre of all time. So if you're interested, hit me up and let me know. Rob G, hello. Just to kind of go over what the show looks like tonight, we're going to kick off the show with going over some pre-show results. Essentially what I do is I post a pre-show poll on my Instagram story the day before the show, just to get an idea as to what, the general public thinks. So we'll go over that first. Then I'll take some time to introduce our panel guests for this evening. Then we'll move on to a portion of the show I like to call the facts or the facts. And with the facts or the facts, basically I try to let everybody know about some reputable information that I find about whatever the topic is. So again, tonight we're talking about, can men and William, well, I said it again, women truly be friends? Then we will kick off our panel discussion with our guest this evening and end with some final thoughts. Before we move on, I also just want to thank everyone, of course, for their support and for being here tonight. Thank you for the gifts. Sometimes it's hard for me, while the show is happening, to recognize your gifts or to say hello. So I appreciate everyone. Steffi, thank you. So with that said, let's get started with our pre-show results. So as I mentioned, I like to post a poll the day before on my Instagram story, and here are the results. So surprisingly or not surprisingly, 86% of those that responded to the poll did say that they believed that men and women could truly be friends. Only 14% said no, that men and women cannot truly be friends. So it'll be interesting to see what you guys think as we move through the show. Without further ado, if you are a guest on tonight's show and you haven't requested the box yet, please do. And let's go ahead and introduce our guests. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you tonight?
I am good. Thank you for asking.
All right. Hello, Rob G the Rapper and Savage Wheezy. Hi, guys. So let's just start off with some brief introductions. If you can tell us who you are, when we can find you streaming, or any, if you host shows, you're going to be on shows, anything you want us to know. And Riffy, I'll start with you.
I'm Riffy Love. I stream in the evening into the early morning hours. I do host a show on Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, called "Are You Smarter Than a Top Badge?"
Okay.
I just started doing it. um, Savage knows how that feels.
Um,
um,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and then on September 19th, I am hosting a auction, Together for Autism, bringing the app together, and bringing the autism awareness together. So if anybody's interested in doing that, please contact me, and we'll get that going. And if you're interested, it is a 1K entry fee, um, diamond entry fee. So um, I did it back in April and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to do it again. So
Okay.
I'd like
And
to do
should
that
they
again.
find you on Instagram if they're interested either in your
Mhm.
show or in your auction?
Either one, either on Instagram or in my live. You can
Okay.
find me in my live.
Very cool. Thank you. And thank you for being here. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Savage Wheezy, tell us about you.
Hi, I'm Savage Wheezy. I host a show every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern called The Wacky Wheezy Show. It's a interactive storyline where we play trivia, sounds, riddles, and challenges. That's every Sunday. I am on PYT show tomorrow, PYT ABC, and then
Okay.
um, that's about it. I admin for Vampire Alien every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern, Vamps Experiment. If you want to be on the show, hit me up. Other than that, and nothing else going on.
And how can folks hit you up? What's the best way to do
Oh,
that?
My Instagram's in my bio.
Perfect. Thank you. And thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for
Um,
having me.
sure, of course. Rob G, the rapper, tell us about you.
So I'm Rob Jew, the rapper. You guys could catch me live here and there. I've been focusing on my music more precisely. So basically, I do participate on shows. I will be on Cinema Score towards the end of the year. Um,
Okay.
I'm also going to be in main event Kyle's auction on August the 30th. So that's pretty much what I got going on right now.
Okay.
If there's more shows later on that meets the uh, uh, thing for me because of my work schedule, then I'll be on more shows. So that's about it.
All right, very cool. I appreciate you being here as well. So, folks down in the chat, please make sure you fave my guest tonight and check out what they have going on. And I would say faves are free, so support each other with favorites for sure. All right, so for those of you that are just coming in, welcome to Middle Ground. If you're just joining us, we reviewed a portion of the show where I talk about our pre-show results. So if you missed that, you can check out. I'll probably post a recording on my Instagram. And then later, we're going to talk with our guests with some panel discussion questions. But first, we're going to jump into a portion of the show I like to call the facts or the facts. So I try to find some reputable information on, whatever topic it is that we're talking about. Sometimes that can be hard. But interestingly enough, there is a lot of research on same-sex friendships or cross-sex friendships is what they refer them to. So research does support that men and women can have genuine platonic friendships. Although attraction, relationship status, boundaries, and expectations can sometimes complicate them. I don't think that's a surprise to any of us. Um, and in truth, cross-sex relationships or friendships are well documented. Researchers studied heterosexual male-female friendships as a distinct and normal type of social relationship. They provide companionship, emotional support, advice, and perspectives that same-sex friendships may not always provide. Attraction is possible, but it isn't inevitable, right? A well-known study I'm going to probably say this name highly incorrectly, but we'll go with it. Biscay Recheck, don't ask, and colleagues found that men, on average, reported more sexual attraction towards their opposite sex friends than women did. Again, this is based on research. Men were also more likely to believe that their female friend was attracted to them. Um, Research also showed that men may overestimate mutual attraction. In that same research, men's estimate of how attracted their female friends were to them tended to exceed the woman's actual level of attraction. This can create mismatched, I cannot speak tonight, I apologize, expectations, even when one person views the relationship as strictly platonic. So these are just some of the complications. It doesn't mean that these are applicable, of course, to every friendship. Research also showed that being attracted to a friend doesn't automatically make that friendship fake. Okay. Friendship and attraction are not mutually exclusive. Someone can experience attraction without pursuing it. I think we all kind of do that all the time. We might find somebody attractive or be attracted to them. It doesn't mean we do anything about it, right? So without pursuing it or making sex or romance the purpose of the relationship. Um, Relationship status matters. Research suggests that attraction towards an opposite sex friend can be viewed as more problematic when someone is already in a committed romantic relationship, particularly when that attraction is strong. But there can also be unique benefits to opposite sex friendships. Research on cross sex friendship has identified benefits such as gaining insight to the other sex, companionship, emotional support, and in some cases, access to potential romantic partners or introductions to them. I think we see that a lot, even if we just see it in the movies. If it doesn't happen, with our own group of friends, sometimes there's that natural kind of meeting of other friends that might turn into other relationships outside of that friendship. Not every friendship follows the stereotype that the guy secretly wants more. Studies report average group differences, not a rule applying to every man or woman. Individual friendships vary substantially. Clear boundaries can matter more than gender, bottom line. A friendship is more likely to remain platonic when both people have compatible expectations and respect boundaries. And I think that's probably true of any friendship. Problems arise when one person sees the relationship as a friendship and the other person doesn't, right? That researcher that I mentioned, and I'm probably going to butcher his name again, Bleske Recheck, terrible. His research was called Benefit or Burden, Attraction and Cross-Sex Friendship. It was a journal of social and personal relationships. Researchers examined opposite sex friendship pairs and found that gender difference mentioned above, men generally reported greater attraction to their female friends than women reported to their male friends, which I already said. But the bottom line that I was looking for from a research perspective is, can men and women truly just be friends? And ultimately, the research says yes. But can they, and is there ever attraction, are two different questions. Research shows that these types of friendships clearly exist and they successfully exist. But it also shows that attraction and mismatched perceptions can sometimes complicate them. So again, overall, from everything that I just said, these relationships can exist successfully, but there's these outside factors that sometimes complicate them. Again, the research didn't tell me anything I don't think I didn't already know. But I just wanted to find something that was reputable to substantiate that. So for those of you that are just coming in, welcome to Middle Ground. My name is Kat. If you're just joining us, we just went over a portion of the show called The Facts Are the Facts, where we just kind of discussed some reputable information regarding tonight's topic. Tonight's topic being, can men and women.
William.
I don't know who William is, but William's a lucky guy tonight. Can men and women truly just be friends? Now we are going to jump into the discussion panel portion of the show, and then we'll end tonight's show with some final thoughts. So with that said, Riffy Love, I am going to start with you.
Oh boy.
Can a man and a woman have a genuinely platonic friendship with zero romantic or sexual interest?
Yes, they can. Yes.
And why do you think that's possible?
Well, because two adults. And see, I think it depends on how long the couple knows each other,
Okay.
to be honest with you. Because I know couples that they've known each other since grade school that are just their best friends.
Okay.
And they're still best friends. and they have no attraction to each other whatsoever. They're married, but they're still best friends, you know. And their wives and their husbands, they're good friends, and their kids are friends, and to me, it just matters how long they've known each other.
Okay.
So yes, they can be, you know.
Okay, I think you bring up a very valid point. So time plays a part in that because there's things that
Mhm,
either build or that are created over a time frame. So yeah, I
mhm.
think that's a very valid point. Savage Weezy, do you agree? Do you disagree? What are your thoughts?
I agree. I mean, yes and no, like 50-50 to be honest. They always
Okay.
do say like, oh, like become friends and then like get to know them and see like later down the line if they y'all become friendship, like not friendship, like a relationship, like a couple.
Oh,
But honestly, like men and women can generally be friends. It just depends on like Riffy said, like the timing and everything else.
okay. Okay. Rob G, the rapper, what do you think? Do you think that men and women can truly have a platonic relationship?
I actually do it, but again, it just depends. It's one, for example, personality. Everybody's got different personalities. Um, some people believe in the zodiac signs. Are they compatible? Things like that.
Sure.
When you're pursuing a relationship, you want to know things like that, compatibility, things like that. Because if you're not compatible, if the personality is not there, then you're gonna remain friends no matter what, genuinely. Um, and the ones that you're friends with, basically, you're not gonna want to actually be in a relationship with them because you're not gonna want to ruin that friendship if something goes wrong in the relationship. Um, in a relationship, if something goes wrong, there's no way to go back to it and be like, oh, let's start all over again, unless you're willing to work something out. Friendships, you do not want to ruin the friendship. So I believe that a man and a woman can truly be friends
Mhm.
um, if they put their differences to the side.
Okay. And I think again you brought up a very good point about when you take that risk, weighing that risk and can you come back from that? Riffy, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
Right.
I think there's is if they make boundaries, and they stick to those boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries
Mhm.
is a big one in any friendship, relationship.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, Rob G, I'm going to stay with you. Um, i- i- if one person secretly finds the other person attractive or they are attracted to that person, is friendship still truly platonic? And again, we're just talking about finding someone attractive or being attracted to them, not acting on that. Is it still possible to have a platonic is it still possible for that friendship to still be platonic in your opinion?
I think so, due to the fact of what the person doesn't know. If they didn't come to you and be like, "Oh, I found you attractive," I mean, if you don't know about it and it's secretly being a secret, then it could
Mm,
still happen, being a platonic friendship.
okay.
I
Okay.
mean, that's why it's secretly attracted. I mean, if they came to you and was like, "Hey, I'm attracted to you," and you found out about it, it's like, are you going to go to the next level and want to be in a relationship with them if you already have a great friendship with them? And like Riffy said, depends on how long they've known each other. Because again, if you've been friends since you were little kids, been around your friends and family, things like that, why would you want to ruin that friendship
Sure.
over a relationship?
Sure. Sure. Savage Reezy, what are your thoughts? If one person is secretly attracted to the other but doesn't act on it, the other person doesn't know, can that friendship still truly be platonic?
Honestly, I believe it can still be platonic only because like you may be in love with their attractiveness, but like if they have like a crappy personality, are you gonna be in love with their personality as well? So like I think they can still be friends platonically if they don't act on it.
Okay. Okay. Riffy Love, what do you think?
I think everybody has it's just natural to be attracted to somebody, so, but they can still be friends, platonically, yes.
Okay. Okay. So I don't want to say I was surprised that everybody was kind of in agreement with that, but I'm a little surprised, just because I'm not even sure where I stand on that. I'm not sure because
But they can
I think it
happen.
could go either way. In truth, you know, what I mean? I think it really depends on the individuals, and I think from what a lot of you were saying is how established is a friendship? How established, you know what I mean? How established are those boundaries? That you mentioned. I
It
think there's
depends
some
on
other factors,
how
that
grown up
might
the person is
play into
too.
that. Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. So, Savage Wheezy, do you think that most male and female friendships involve attraction at some point, even if no one acts on it? And I say
Honestly,
most, not all.
honestly, it comes with time. Like, yeah, you might think your best friend's hot or cute, but like, you're not gonna like act on it. Say like, we might be better off as friends instead of relationships because you don't want to go next level and get into a relationship with that person and then ruin your friendship, and then you lost a friend basically at the end of the road. And that's also comes with boundaries and like respect and stuff like
Agreed.
that.
Okay. And just a follow-up question. Do you think that you, and again, you're just speaking for yourself, could be best friends with someone you used to date or had that you slept with, for lack of a better term? I don't, that sounds
I
tacky,
actually,
sorry. I'm gonna say
I
had personal relationship with.
I actually dated some of my ex-girlfriends, and to this day, me and them are like best friends of 10 years, and we
Okay.
have a wonderful friendship. They're out here getting married, having kids, and like we grew stronger as friends than when we were together. Because honestly, like when we were together, it was very like toxic and like a lot of
Mm,
things. So then we ended up like separating, moving on, dating other people, yada yada, and then we became friends. And to this day, like I'm friends with like my ex-girlfriends for like 10 years,
okay.
2 years, 5 years. So honestly, and we set boundaries for each other.
Do you think you're the exception to the rule, or do you think that's more common than not?
I think it's common than not.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Rob G, the rapper, how about you? Do you think that, we'll start with the first question. Do you think that most male female relationships involve attraction at some point, even if no one acts on it?
I definitely do because over the time you're gonna accumulate attraction no matter what. Um, it depends on how you act on it. Are you gonna act on it, or are you just gonna leave it be? So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Do you think that you could be best friends with somebody that you were romantically involved with? That's how I should have asked it. Romantically involved with on some level?
that would kind of be hard for me personally due to the fact um, it has to be a mutual agreement. It does for
Okay.
both of us. I mean, we broke up for a reason. What's the reason?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, why wasn't that romantic relationship successful? And how would whatever that answer is, how or would it affect a platonic relationship? So that's a
Right.
very good point. Riffy Love, what are your thoughts? Do you think that most male female relationships have some level of attraction in them? And do you think that you could be best friends with somebody that you were once romantically involved with?
Of course, there's going to be a level of attraction because that's one step of a friendship. Because I mean, it starts out with attraction, and it goes up to caring for that person, and then it goes up to having that love for that person, right? Because
Sure.
you can still love your best friend,
Yes.
but you're not in love with that person, but you have love for that person. So of course, it starts with attraction. Doesn't mean that you're going to act on it.
Right.
Um, and then being friends with somebody that Personally, I don't think so. No, because I'm not friends with any of mine. I'm stubborn. I'm hard headed. I'm a Scorpio, so it's like no, absolutely not. But that's just me. It just depends on the level, your personality. Depends on why, like Rob said, depends on why you broke up. The reason why. Um, so I mean, I'm iffy, but I would say no.
Okay. Okay. No, I think that for most people, I think everyone's answer is pretty common. Do you know what I'm saying? So I
Mhm.
don't think that people really sway more so on one side or the other in that particular for that question.
Yeah.
For those of you that are just joining us, welcome to Middle Ground. My name is Kat. If you're just joining us, we just started our panel discussion. Tonight we're talking about can men and women, I almost said William, truly be I don't know who William is, but we're going with it. Can men and women truly be friends? We started off the show reviewing the pre-show results. Then we talked about the facts or the facts, which is just a section of the show where we provide some factual information of the topic. And as I mentioned, we are in the midst of our panel discussion. Riffy Love, let's stay with you. Um, does being in a relationship change what is appropriate in a friendship with someone of the opposite sex? So, as I mentioned when I was going over the facts or the facts, one of the things that researchers looked at is that if one or both of the people who are in the opposite sex friendship are in a relationship outside of that friendship, does that change what's appropriate in that friendship?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And why do you not think it changes anything?
I mean, just because they're in a relationship doesn't mean that they can't still be friends. Is that what the question is?
Yes. Yes.
No, they still can hold that friendship. I mean, it's not. They still have that boundaries. I mean, and it still depends on how long they've been friends too. Also, it depends on the level of that friendship.
Do you think that the partner should automatically be comfortable with your opposite sex best friend?
I wouldn't say automatically. I think they should get to know them.
Okay.
They should get to know them themselves.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I don't think it's an automatic. You have to get along. I think
Right,
they
because I
should.
think probably with any friends, I have friends, I've been in relationships where my friends and my boyfriend never got along. And, they were opposite, same sex friends or whatever. So it didn't really didn't alter anything. But I
Mhm.
think you make a good point. Sometimes people have to make their judgment for themselves, get
Yeah.
to know them. Nothing's automatic, right?
Nothing's automatic. I don't think so. But they need to get to know each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Savage Weezy, what are your thoughts? So if and you say that, it seems like you have a lot of friends.
Oh wow,
And
okay.
no. And you said that some of them are
Yeah.
married. Didn't you say that some married, have
Some of
kids,
them
things
are
like
getting married, having kids.
so the fact that they are friends with you, was that a consideration? Was there some special introduction? Was there a discussion? Was there anything like that?
Honestly, no. We just kind of like click as friends. We became best friends. Like we got to know each other. Cause like we already dated each other, so we knew like what kind of personality we was. Like we took like a break from away from each other, and then we became friends. Um, and honestly, like it's more platonic. Like we have boundaries. Like I'm not like interested in them. I'm more friends with the girlfriends or like the wives more than the boyfriends themselves, honestly.
Sure,
And
sure.
honestly, like at the end of the day, sure, like the guys can be friends with the boyfriend, husband, whatever, and also friends with the girlfriend, the wife, whatever. But it's like more how you present yourself and like if you're not gonna um go on like like persuade them like let's date or do this and do this. They should always like get to know you and never judge a book by its cover as well.
Sure, sure, absolutely, absolutely. So would you agree or disagree that, in that example that your friends' partners, it wouldn't be, is it fair that they should have automatically been comfortable with you as a friend? Or do you think, like Riffy was saying, that, they should have to get to know you just like anybody else, that nothing's automatic?
They should honestly have to get to know you honestly and judge you uh, with themselves, not like how they should not take words from like their girlfriend or their wives or anything else. You should see how you are, see how you present yourself,
Mhm.
and then honestly, um, and see like if you truly guys could be friends. And then like I'm gonna throw this out here. Sexuality also comes into a big factor with
Sure.
being friends. Like, cause it's more easier with guys being like, it's more harder for guys as who straight than guys who is in the LGBT. Because guys in LGBT, which I am, I can
Sure.
easily be more friends with females than a straight man because I don't catch feelings.
Sure.
More
Sure.
straight men catches feelings harder than I do.
Right. And in
So
truth, the partner might feel less intimidated in that sense
less
because of
intimidate,
this.
right? Yes.
Yeah, no, that's certainly another element to the discussion for sure, for sure. So it's good that you brought that up.
Sorry,
Rob,
I
do
like
you?
to rant.
No, please, please. This is a talk show, so please do. Rob G, what are your thoughts? Do you think that if you are friends with a female and she has, she's in a relationship, does that change or alter things? And should their partner just automatically accept you because you're their girlfriend's friend?
Technically, I want to say yes, due to the fact, one, it depends on the people. For example, if you've been friends for a long time, and when the person's in a relationship or whoever they're in a relationship, what if they want that person to cut off all their friends? Especially, let's say, cut off all your guy friends, because there's people out there that are controlling.
Yes.
You have people that are controlling. I mean, this is the 20th century. It's been going on for years. For
Absolutely. If
years.
I had a red
I
flag, I'd pick
mean,
it up and wave it. Yes.
there's no changing that. It's part of relationships, part of friendship. You get people who control the friendship as well, saying, "Oh, well, I don't want you talking to that person anymore because I don't get along with them." So
Yes.
again, I'm gonna say yes because it alters things, especially if that person does not want to get to know you. It doesn't matter about personality. It doesn't matter about how you carry yourself. You cannot force a person to actually get to know you if they're set in their ways. People are brought up certain ways. You
Sure.
got street mentalities, mentality of people that went to school and learned how to present themselves the proper way. So it all depends on the person. So I'm going to say yes. It does alter the friendship and what's
Yeah.
appropriate, what's not appropriate, how you dress, things like that.
And you do bring up a good point. That certainly, and I think with any relationships, how what other relationships you saw in your life growing up, how other people interacted, those
Mhm.
examples are definitely something that we learn from, and obviously sometimes mirror either what we do or what we don't do. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes we
Mhm.
do the opposite of what we see for a reason, but
Mhm.
sometimes we kind of mirror what we see. So I think bringing up that experience or that life experience part is a very valid point for sure.
Mhm.
Okay, Savage Wheezy, let's come back to
Hmm.
you. Um,
Uh,
if your friend, if your friend would date you if given the opportunity, are they really just your friend? Because it kind of goes back to the if they were attracted to you question, or you were attracted to them. But if they said, "Oh, I would date Savage Wheezy in a heartbeat," um, if he wasn't my friend, but I don't want to mess up my friendship. Is that a cause for concern? Do you think?
I
Or is
think
it, again, is that just natural? Is it, what do you think?
I think
Got you, Iffy. Sorry.
it's a cause for concern because honestly, if we were just friends and like we are strictly platonic friends and I see a relationship not really working out and like they keep pushing, like I don't want a relationship, but they keep pushing it. I'm gonna have some type of concern because like I'm generally just want to be friends with you and not date you. I'm here to have friends, not a relationship at the end of the day. So it's honestly that is a concern.
Do you think sometimes people kind of disguise their desire to be with you, or, with people in general, by saying, oh, well, we're just friends?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like I've met people in my life where they liked me, let's just say, and they wanted to take me out on a date, and I'd be like, no, we could just be friends, and they're like, okay, we'll be friends, and then, do you know what I mean? And then it's like the biggest regret ever, because in truth, I
yeah,
really meant we can just be friends, and they're
yeah,
just saying yes because they still want to get to know you or have access to you in a sense.
yeah,
But their intentions really are because they're attracted to you, or they're, want to
yeah.
be romantically involved.
That yeah, I see that half the time. Like, oh no, we're just friends. Yeah, we're just friends. And like at the end of the day, like they could be talking to each other, like they could be in a relationship, or like generally they just want to be friends. It depends on their how they are for each other. But yeah, like it's a disguise and it's like a big concern. Like it's a red flag.
It's if I had a red flag, yes, we'd be waving it. Um, Riffy Love, what do you think?
You're going to
If
repeat the question because I forgot to plug my phone in. I popped out. I'm sorry.
Sure, no, absolutely. So, if your friend would date you if given the opportunity, are they really just your friend, or is it kind of a cause for concern?
It's a cause for concern because their intentions are something different. They they just thought that they would be your friend, but they were hoping they can change your mind and make it something different.
Okay. Do you think it's possible, though, in some small fraction, that it could turn into a platonic relationship?
They can't go back.
Okay. 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 Rob G the rapper, what are your thoughts? If your friend said, "Hey,
There's
man,
a
I'd want to date
famous
you."
word that I want.
Oh,
There's a famous word, and it's a word for a reason. Friend zone. You get put in a friend zone for a reason because they see you as a friend. They don't see you as a relationship. So why are you bringing it to me now? Like, well, why do you want to be in a relationship with me now when we agreed to be friends?
yeah,
So again, like Savage said, if you keep pushing the issue, and we've already made the agreement to be friends, you're just gonna push me away as a friend,
yes,
meaning you're gonna lose a really good friend. So, I mean, that's the thing. You cannot be pursuing something that's not there. Like if the relationship part of it's not there and it's just a friendship, why are you trying to pursue it so much? Why are you obsessed with them? Stop being obsessed. Cause that is more like now you're acting weird. I don't want to deal with you. I want to block you on everything. Like Savage said, red flag.
yeah. We're gonna waive it. No, I'm just kidding. Yes, yes,
I
no.
got one more thing to say.
Sure, go ahead, please.
It also depends on the relationship as well. Like for me, it's like 50-50 because like a lot of people do say like getting to know each other, like start off as friends and see where it goes, and then see if it turns into like a relationship later down the
Okay.
line.
Yes.
Which I always got told like, oh, let's be friends, see where it takes us. Like down, in the future we could be in a relationship. Who knows? But like,
Mhm.
it's honestly better to start off as friends. And generally, if
Right.
you see each other as just friends, that relationship down the road is not gonna happen. But if you try to pursue each other, be friends, and then see where it takes you later down the line.
Yeah.
Because
But
it's better
still,
to get to know the person and like see how y'all interact with each other It seems
Right.
like the vibes and like energy match with each other. Because if it's not there,
Right.
it's not
Right.
there. That's just
That
me.
that's why
Yeah,
that's why you that's why when you start out as friends, you're getting to know their red flags, their green flags, things like that. You're getting to know what's going to tick them off, and they're getting to know what's going to tick you off. Um, so basically, what makes you tick like a time bomb, and what makes them tick, and
sure.
Yeah.
basically, if they say, "Oh, I feel like we should start a relationship," and you felt nothing to pursue it because you've seen their flaws, then why keep pushing it? Why go
Yes,
forward with the
facts.
relationship? You could
Uh,
remain friends and be like, look, the boundaries I've set, I want to remain friends, and if you cannot respect that, do not contact me. Leave me
facts.
alone.
Wow. I think I'm gonna have to call
So
you
there you go.
Right?
because
I have to call him now. And that is
boundaries
true.
are a real
Sometimes,
thing,
but
and
that's not labeling it. That is true. Not label it.
yeah,
Not.
no, boundaries are a real thing, and unfortunately, a lot of people aren't respectful of boundaries in friendships, relationships, or even just people who let's say that we meet on here, who may send us
Mhm.
messages or reach out to us. Boundaries are a big thing. So, okay, good conversation. For those of you that are just coming in, welcome in. This is Middle Ground. My name is Kat. If you're just joining us, we started the show tonight with some pre-show poll information about our topic: Can men and women, I almost said William, truly be friends? Then we talked about the facts or the facts, which is just a portion of the show where we talk about some reputable factual information about whatever the topic is. Right now, we are in the midst of our panel discussion. We are getting towards the end portion of our show, and then I'll end the show tonight with some final thoughts. Um, Rob G, the rapper, I'm going to start with you. Um, do you think that men and women define just friends differently?
Yeah, again, there's a fine line. It all depends on the person. Um, and men, they see something different. Um, we can't all predict what's going to happen inside of our brains.
Sure.
Um, we're not mind readers. We're not going to sit there and be like, oh, let's see what she's got going on, and let's see if she wants me to be in a relationship with her, or vice versa. So um, it all depends.
Okay. Okay. Riffy Love, what are your thoughts? Do men and women define just friends differently?
I think men see the relationship as not that they can't be friends more than women. Women think that men and women can be friends, but men don't.
Okay. And don't kill me for prying a little bit more. Why do you think that is? Is it just because men and women think differently?
I think
Uh,
so. I think men, I don't think, I'm not sure. My opinion,
so there's no wrong answers here.
I don't know, my opinion is,
Or is it going back to some of that attraction stuff
I
and
think it, I think it's, I really, I, I really don't know, but
that's
that's
okay.
just how I feel. I don't know.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
maybe commitment.
Commitment. That's another big word.
Right?
Yes. Commitment. Okay.
She
Yeah.
hit it right on. She hit it right on the mark. The commitment was.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Savage Weezy, what are your thoughts? Do you think men and women define just friends differently?
Honestly, it depends. Men can probably just want like a relationship, and women generally just want to be friends. Like if they are talking to someone, or they're not generally attracted to that guy. Um, but a lot of men do a lot push it, and they do generally want friends, or even it can turn into friendship benefits. Ladies. I'm just saying.
Right, and a whole nother category. But
I
yes.
forget all these
Mm.
categories.
No, there are a lot of there is no one definition of friendship or relationship really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're talking in very broad terms tonight, obviously, or very
Mhm.
general terms. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. So it's
But
kind
yeah,
of another element
yeah.
that's kind of added into the friend zone, friendship, romantic. There's
Moment.
a whole nother category there for
But yeah,
sure.
a lot of guys do have a lot of commitment issues, trust issues, stuff like that, and then stuff like that.
Okay,
Generally.
okay.
I wanted to
Um,
add, I kind of agree
sure.
with the article that you read earlier, that
Okay.
not all men want relationships. Because the ones that are focused on their careers, if so used to being single and they're so into their career more than anything, they're gonna be like, you know what? We'd rather have friends and just leave it at that. Because one, my career is more work than anything. You don't gotta worry about people back talking you, except your friends here and there.
Sure.
They're
Sure.
gonna.
Sure.
I mean, you don't gotta worry about. Oh, I don't support what you're doing or whatever. Especially if it's a career that you like and that the girlfriend or a wife doesn't like, and you're not gonna hear all the bad stuff that they're gonna say about what you do.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, there are other elements to consider, and I think relationships have and friendships have evolved a lot over the decades and the years because there are other priorities. You know what I mean, to your career or other things,
Mhm.
education, that have become a greater priority over some of these friendships or relationships. So,
See, with
yeah,
friendship as well, but by the way, whether it's man or woman, in a friendship, they could give you advice. You don't got to take it. But if you're in a relationship and your girlfriend or your boyfriend gives you advice and you don't take it, you're not gonna hear the end of it. You're gonna be arguing somehow,
no,
some way when you're home, because they're gonna be
sure.
like, "I thought I told you this. Why didn't you do this?" Especially
But
if it's
that's
out
why
in
it's
public.
important. No, you're right. That's why it's important to have friends outside of your relationship because you know what
Right.
you do need uh different types of relationships in your life sometimes for different reasons to vent about this or to that or offering different kinds of support or you know what I mean.
Right.
So I think having we talked about red flags, partners who say, oh, like you can't have friends or you can't have friends of the opposite sex or the same or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Those are kind of the red
Right.
flags in the
Which
relationship for
those
sure.
that would be known as narcissists, which is another
Yes.
category. Um, for the friendship type deal, because you do have friends that are narcissists besides boyfriend girlfriend. You get friends that
Absolutely.
are actually narcissists that want to hate on you, that want to control your whole thing. Like, hey, I don't want you doing this. I thought we were going to be doing this because we made a pact when we were young.
No, you're right. So I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to start with you because it's in line with what you just said. Can jealousy exist in strictly platonic relationships?
It could exist in all relationships. Doesn't matter. I mean, you could have a platonic relationship with your family member, and they're gonna be jealous of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
they're gonna be, let's say, for example, me, I do music. Let's say my music pops off, and someone's jealous of my music. Like, really? Why are
Yeah.
you jealous of what I'm doing? Why don't you focus on yourself? If you want the advice, I can give you the advice on how to focus on yourself. So yeah,
Sure.
in all relationships could be platonic, not just
Okay.
man and woman, but this is the topic, the man and woman. So yeah, it could definitely be.
I got you. So jealousy doesn't discriminate, does it?
No,
Have you ever heard
it
the
doesn't.
saying "three's a crowd"?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But
So
misery
you're
loves company.
yes. So if you love you're in agreement with Rob G there
Hmm.
then?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're best friends with somebody, and somebody else tries to come in there. Of course, you're going to be jealous because it's like, hey, wait a minute, that's we're where, besties, why is they trying to come in, trying to take you away from me,
Yeah,
Sure.
no, absolutely, absolutely. Savage Weezy, what are your thoughts?
I I agree. Jealousy does play a big part in the relationship. You could even like with men and women, you can be jealous. But you can be jealous in anything in all relationships, like family members. You could be jealous even on, like about streamers or anything else.
I'm not
Absolutely.
gonna lie, I have a little bit of jealousy about my best friend that lives in Texas. Ever since he left, and it's like I always remind him, look, I never forget about your birthday, but you always forget about mine.
Mm,
Why do you always forget
Mm,
about me?
mm.
Like
Why do
why?
you always come down here and, why don't, yeah, or why do I
Like,
always come see you and you don't come see me, yeah.
and
yeah,
then
Yeah.
he
there's
makes the excuse, oh, I'm busy with my wife. Well, you don't have time to. It only takes 5 minutes because you never know when you're gonna get to say anything to that
Mhm.
person. That person might not make it the next time around.
sure,
You
sure.
you always want to be able to communicate with your friends or whoever you're in a relationship with. That's another thing, communication
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
Mhm.
this type of thing for friendship and when it's plutonic. Because if there's no communication, that's gonna ruin everything as well.
yeah,
And it's gonna
absolutely.
make people jealous. Hey, I'm sorry I didn't communicate with you to let you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for those of you that are just coming in, welcome to Middle Ground. We're here in the last few minutes of the show. Tonight, we are talking about whether or not men and women, not William, can truly be friends. Uh, I'm not going to waste too much more time, so we just have a few minutes left. Please make sure that you are favoriting my guest here tonight, Rob G the Rapper, Riffy Love, and Savage Wheezy. Thank you so much to all of you for being my guest tonight. And please don't forget to fave me if you haven't already. We're here every Monday night at 8 o'clock. And again, the show is Middle Ground. We have a new topic every Monday. Right now, most of our shows are already booked for August. We do have one opening left on the 31st for a show that talks about which is the best music genre of all time. So if you're interested, hit me up on IG. You can also hit up my admins, Beard Raider or Emoji J, and we'd be happy to book you on a show. And we will get or I'll get the September topics posted soon. So if you like to plan ahead, you can check those out sooner than later. So my last question before we end the show with some final thoughts, and Riffy Love, I will start with you. Is final question: men and women can absolutely just be friends. True or false? And defend your answer.
True.
And why is
True.
that true?
True, because I mean, you got all the, true, as long as they're grown adults and got boundaries and you just do it.
Okay. Okay. Savage Wheezy. Final question: men or women can absolutely just be friends. True or false? And defend your answer.
I'm gonna say true. Everyone can be adults. Also, boundaries. I would always set boundaries. And then another thing, communication. Communication is important. It is key. Everyone says communication is key. If you don't have communication, there's no relationship. So as long as you guys are communicating what you want, you're not interested in doing this, you generally can be platonic friends with the opposite sex.
And one thing I would add to the communication part is that communication is two ways. It's not just talking, it's also listening. And sometimes we, and that includes me, we're good at talking. We're not always good at
Yeah.
listening. So, truly for any successful relationship, not just the type of relationships that we're talking about here tonight, that two-way communication is key. Rob G, the rapper. Last but not least, final question. Men and women can truly just be friends. True or false? And defend your answer.
I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate. I'm gonna have to say false. Why? Due to the fact, again, the upbringing. This is a 20th century. Um, It's been going on since the late 1990s, early 2000s, and it's been going on longer up until now as well. And now these young teenagers are seeing the same thing, like what mommy and daddy taught them. Uh, so basically, that being said, it's like you try to set up friendships, but there is no respect for one another.
Okay.
There really isn't. You have to have the respect. You have to follow the boundaries. A lot of them don't want to follow that. And I mean, take the not to knock the dating sites, the streaming apps, but look at what's going on here right now. I
Sure.
was before
Sure.
I came into your live. I was in someone else's live, and I was minutes away from reporting them. But they're sitting there doing what they're doing that they should not be doing on the live stream. Where's the boundary for that? You're
Sure.
showing off
Sure.
whatever you're showing. Where's the boundary for that? You're just caring about getting a quickie.
Oh,
Like really? That's all they care about? Like, come on, man. There's no boundary for that.
sure.
That's
Sure.
disrespect. For one, you're airing out your business on a live stream platform. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say false.
Okay. Okay.
But at the beginning of the show, you said yes. So what changed your mind?
Mm.
Well, due to the fact again, the there's no boundaries. People don't set the boundaries properly. They cross boundaries. They don't respect one another. I mean, so the final
Okay.
answer is false.
Okay.
Because
So that
again,
made you change your mind.
seeing a lot of these and knowing from experience wise, yes, that
Yeah.
changes your mind. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, with that said, just some final thoughts. We're in the last like 2 minutes of the show. So again, the purpose of middle ground is to talk and to listen, communicate, and it's not necessarily for me to convince you what is right, what is wrong, or about my opinion whatsoever. The hope is that we can find some similarity and commonality in our thoughts. We don't always have to agree on everything, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some common threads
Tyler.
when it comes to certain topics. So from each of you, I heard of a lot of common things. We talked about boundaries and communication, talked
Mhm.
about time and life experience and those things. And I think we were all kind of in agreement with those things. And then interestingly here at the end there was some difference of opinion, but I think that's what makes I think that's what makes America great. Not to be funny, is that we can have a difference of opinion and still respect that opinion, and listen to each other and learn from each other. So I want to thank all of my guests tonight again. Please, if you haven't favorited Rob G the Rapper, Riffy Love, excuse me, or Savage Wheezy, please do that. Check out